Are you filming? Or are you oh. Spicy in here.
This isn't a joke.
Hey, tonight we're making hand of the reaper chili. And these guys are primarily making it. This is their recipe, so I'll be around.
It's good. First thing we're gonna do is take 2 large onions and we'll dice them all up, whatever size you want them to be diced in.
I'm dicing onions! What kind of onions are these, Mike?
Sweet yellow onions. The best kind of onions.
The best kind of onions.
Who can it be now?
Jack.
I got a dog, you guys. Look at this dog. Look at this dog. We're gonna put you in the chili.
Yeah. Dice them. I'm dumping onions into a lobster pot.
Bacon fat in with the onion. Alright, so we're gonna stir these up. Get them all nice and covered in oil. A little bit of salt and pepper. And a good amount of chili powder. This is the first of 13 peppers that we're putting in here.
Why so many, Mike?
Because of the flavor. Peppers are the most flavorful food of anything.
Please.
Alright, and Kevin's gonna chop some garlic to throw in there. We're just getting these nice and translucent, so let them go for a while. And while we wait for these onions to cook down and for Kevin to chop the garlic, a whole head, we're going to brown all of our meat. So first we're gonna grease this up with bacon fat. We like to use a pork and beef blend for this chili. So we're using about 1.5 pounds of ground pork and 2.5 pounds of ground beef. High fat content in both helps with the extreme spiciness that we're going to be dealing with later. So we'll let that get nice and hot first. That was a terrible drink break. We are going to brown this pork fat first, and then we'll get to the beef fat. This is on really high heat.
This is pork. This is not pork.
Oh yeah, that's just pork. There's bacon fat in there. Yeah, we're just gonna crisp up all the edges. Ground pork, it's pork shoulder. We'll let that go for a while, and then we'll move it all around with the tongs. Stirring up the onion. This is on low heat, by the way. A lowish heat, lowish. Meanwhile, the garlic intern. All right. We're doing this at high heat so we can caramelize the beef or the pork. You want to get that nice dark crispy flavor or color on the outside. Color is flavor. Yeah, we're gonna do the same thing to the other side, and then we're gonna turn it on its sides and get it nice and crispy on all the edges, just because we can. This chili's gonna be cooking forever anyways, so we might as well maximize the flavor. Keep your eye on it. Get rotated around so all the sides look like this. You can see a little bit of it stuck to the bottom there. But we're gonna get it nice and crispy, then we'll break it up and finish cooking it all. And then we'll do the same exact thing to the beef. Yes, yes.
Putting the garlic in. Now you will witness a shameful act. Pre-minced garlic.
This is bullshit.
Sorry, Marlena.
Like a meat sauna.
Take So we've crisped this up on every side. Now it's probably crispy enough that we can just now bust it all up and finish cooking everything. We do it crispy on the outside because it makes it taste good.
I'ma live in this pot. My home now.
Alright, this still has a little ways to go before it's done. Put the lid on it, speed up the process. Alright, this is browned up nicely, it's all cooked. We're gonna set it aside for use later. And then next, we're gonna do the same thing with a whole bunch of beef. Good. Same exact thing to the beef as the pork, and then throw it in the chili.
I'm gonna chop the tomatoes because these guys don't like doing that. I don't know why. That's no big deal. I'll be over here for the next 20 years chopping a big bag of tomatoes. 4 pounds.
You're gonna wanna stir this occasionally so you don't burn it. There are a couple little burnt bits, but that's okay. We kicked it down to low and took the lid off because it's all adequately cooked. We can go ahead and add the pork in here, because why not? I'm gonna scrape it really good so you don't miss any of the fat. More stirring.
Okay, so I chopped 4 pounds of tomatoes, and this is what 4 pounds of tomatoes looks like. So that is 4 pounds of tomatoes. Ta-da! Okay.
It looks like I am chopping 5 jalapenos and 5 serranos. I'm mincing them to piss.
Oh, I've got one of those. Those are actually kind of fun. Alright, we did the same thing to the beef as we did to the pork, so we crisped up all the outsides and got those nice little dark pieces right there. So now, the pork is already in here. We're gonna dump all the beef in here as well. Animal fat is second to peppers in flavorfulness. It is the second most important thing. And now we just mix everything up.
I'm mincing!
I'm mincing, I can't get up.
Jalapeno and serrano.
5 of each. So at this point, actually, we can add the tomatoes. 4 pounds of tomatoes. Make sure to get all the juices. We'll season it now a little bit. Add a little bit more chili powder because it's chili, so it needs chili powder. Hot Spanish paprika, decent amount. Chili is all about the seasoning, so don't hold back on anything really. And then the secret, but really not so secret ingredient, we're gonna add some cocoa powder. It works really, really well with the peppers. Cocoa, like chocolate, and hot peppers are just a delicious flavor combination. That's probably enough. Stir all of this together. We're gonna kick the heat back up to medium high, but we'll adjust that downward in a little bit. We basically just added a whole bunch of cold stuff into the pot, so we just reduced the temperature of everything drastically. All right, we were scaling this recipe today, so we used a pound extra meat than we normally do and a pound extra tomatoes, but we probably should have scaled that up to maybe a pound and a half-ish. Those details really don't matter to the listener because this is the recipe they're getting, so ignore all of that. This part probably doesn't even matter, but basically we're just adding extra tomatoes in. There's no big chunks in there. That was totally unnecessary, but look how cool my hand looks now. Kevin?
Oh god.
Alright, now we're gonna put this in here. Because we needed more tomato-ness. I'm stirring the pot. And we are going to start to add the hotter peppers now. Next up, we've got 5 habaneros. They're the most tasty thing in existence. And we're gonna put 5 of them in our chili. If I were religious, this would be my god. We're just gonna mince these up like the other ones.
Putting a lid on it to save the liquid.
Anytime you're making a soup or a stew or a chili or anything that's just in one pot, you're gonna wanna stir it every so often. So just do that. We're gonna do all of them up like that, and then we're gonna just rough chop the hell out of the whole pile once we're done. Mince them to piss. All right, now we're gonna add these 5 minced habaneros into the chili, as well as add some of this very extra special smoked habanero powder in there. This is my favorite seasoning of all time. As much as you want. Now we're gonna get into the serious stuff. This is bird's eye powder. We're gonna add a little bit of this in while Kevin's stirring her up. This is like, think of this like way hotter cayenne. You're gonna wanna put a good bit in there. All right, now we're gonna add some cayenne. This is gonna be some really spicy chili.
I guess I'm ready. It's times like these, I like to eat a pickle. You want a pickle? You want a pickle? No, that's my pickle. Let me do the pickle.
Pickle break.
This one's 7 pot.
Supposedly 1 pepper is enough for 7 pots. But that's only true if you're a fan.
So we'll give it the old sprinkle.
Ghost chili.
A mortar and pestle, you wanna grind. Well, first you mash the big bits. Kind of like with the end of your pestle or mortar or whatever the it is. Holy shit.
Oh, yeah.
Turn the fan back on.
Yeah, this is the point in which you open the windows, the doors, and everything, because it's gonna get really, really hot.
We have ground up. We have like a brush. Usually you can use a brush to get the last little bits out of your mortar or pestle or whatever, which one is which, I don't know.
We're gonna put in some Trinidad scorpion. I put a lot of it in. This is my personal favorite. This is gonna be the second hottest of all the hot peppers we put in. We're gonna put in an entire This is pretty. Moruga scorpion. The moruga scorpion is 2 to 3 million Scoville. Give me that mortar and pestle, please. If you have allergies or sinus problems, this will help with all of them. So yeah, just like Phil said, circular motions. Look at how ground this is.
We're all gonna die.
Dude, we seriously need to chase this with a milkshake or a glass of milk, or your butt is really gonna hurt. We should go get milkshakes at Dairy Queen immediately after eating this chili. It's no joke. Because we still have one more to really remember to go. And then next up, what Kevin is working with over here is the hottest of all the peppers. These are Carolina Reapers. These are the hottest of the hot and really, really good, but also probably too hot. So we're gonna add these in.
I am about to dice some bell peppers. 2. One is green and one is orange. The orange is smokier.
Alright, we're gonna add in the bell peppers now. Nice chunky peppers.
I think poblanos are f***ing fantastic. They're also being diced. I'm doing 3 of them.
Poblanos. Everything is pretty much assembled. We're gonna let this cook for about an hour now. The longer it cooks, the better. If you've got all day, let it go all day. Just make sure it's covered up so you don't lose any liquid. But we're just gonna let this cook on low, let all these flavors melt together. Again, the longer the better. In about an hour or so, it's gonna be ready to eat. Okay, the chili's been cooking for a little bit over an hour now, actually. And next, we're gonna add 2 cans each of black, kidney, and pinto beans. Usually I do black, kidney, and red beans, but there were no red beans at the store this time, so we're gonna go with pinto beans instead. Alright. We're just rinsing the beans now, getting all that saltiness off of them. So now we're gonna dump all of these in here. Chili is ready to eat. Chili is ready to eat. We just have to stir it up. These beans need to get hot, which they will do. Marlena, want a great cheese?
I think it's mild cheddar.
Good punker. Good punker.
You're weird. Cheese mountain.
I'm cutting some green onions up for a garnish. We're just cutting them like you normally cut green onions pretty much all the time. Now the chili is done and we're going to eat it. And because we don't want to die completely, we're gonna add some cheese, some sour cream, and green onions for flavor and to make it look pretty. Yeah, that's really good. After a few more bites, I will be in pain.
I think it's great.
Too much sour cream.
There's no such thing.
I f***ed up.
Oh man,
That's a shit.
I never put sour
You never
cream
put
in
any sour
anything,
cream in.
so I didn't know how much to put in.
Just 1 scoop. How many scoops did he
I
put
see
in there?
that now.
He emptied the bucket.
I don't drink sour cream. F*** off, man. Why are you even in here?
Green onions.
I've never had an onion before.